When life takes a wrong turn, our instinct very often is to point outward. We blame circumstances, people, or even fate, like the job market isn't fair, the economy is terrible, that person betrayed me. Blame is easy. It allows us to protect our ego, to avoid discomfort, and to tell ourselves that our struggles are beyond our control. And it may be hard to hear, but blame won't fix anything. It won't move you forward. It won't rewrite your story. The only thing that can truly create change is taking responsibility for your life. Now, responsibility doesn't mean self-criticism. It doesn't mean tearing yourself down or carrying guilt for everything that goes wrong. It means owning your role in your circumstances so that you can actually do something about it. Because if you refuse to acknowledge your part in the situation, you also give up the power to change it. If your career is stuck in neutral, what are you doing to develop your skills, expand your network, or create new opportunities? If your relationships keep ending in heartbreak, what patterns are you repeating? Are you choosing the same kind of partner? Are you bringing unresolved wounds into every connection? If your health is declining, why haven't you prioritized your well-being? Are you making excuses instead of making changes? There's an old saying, when you point a finger at someone else, 3 fingers point back at you. And that's not meant to shame you. It's meant to wake you up. Because if you created the problem, then you also have the ability to create the solution. That's where the power lies. This mindset shift isn't easy. It requires humility. It requires self-awareness. And it requires the courage to look at yourself honestly, without judgment, but with a determination to improve. It's not about blaming yourself, it's about empowering yourself. You probably know people who constantly blame the world for their problems. What happens to them? They stay stuck. They wait for external forces to change, hoping for a lucky break, waiting for someone to come and fix things for them. But the people who take responsibility, they adapt, they grow, they find a way. They learn from failure instead of being defined by it. When things go wrong, it's time to reflect, adjust, and take action. Instead of complaining about the things you can't control, focus on what you can. Instead of dwelling on what's broken, look for ways to rebuild. And most importantly, be patient with yourself. Change takes time. There will be setbacks. There will be moments when it's tempting to fall back into old habits of blame and frustration. But every time you choose to take responsibility instead, you take another step forward. At the end of the day, the most powerful transformation you'll ever experience won't come from luck or external circumstances. It will come from the moment you decided to stop waiting and start owning every part of your life. Life has an interesting way of testing us, doesn't it? I mean, we've all faced moments where things didn't go the way we'd hoped. There are moments of rejection, betrayal, or loss. And it's natural to feel bitter when the people or circumstances you relied on let you down. But the truth is, bitterness only chains us to the pain. So growth, resilience, and success, those are forged when we let go of bitterness and focus on becoming better. You see, every setback you've endured, every time life didn't go your way, it came with a hidden gift. And that was a chance to grow, to evolve, and to rise above. And sometimes we need those tough moments to remind us of who we are and what we're capable of. So let's give gratitude to those very challenges that once felt like roadblocks. Thank you to the doors that slammed in my face. At the time, it felt like rejection, like everything I'd worked for was slipping away. But in hindsight, those closed doors redirected me to something far greater than I'd imagined. They forced me to innovate, to think differently, and to walk a path that was uniquely mine. When that opportunity you thought was the one disappears, it's not the end. Sometimes it's the universe clearing the way for something extraordinary. Thank you to the people who doubted me. Your skepticism lit a fire within me that I didn't even know existed. You gave me the hunger to push beyond my limits, to prove not just to you, but to myself that I am capable. Every time you said you can't do it, I used those words as fuel to show you that I absolutely could. If people doubt you, let it strengthen your resolve. Remember, diamonds are formed under pressure, not in comfort. Thank you to the moments that felt like failure. Those were the moments that taught me resilience, patience, and the power of perseverance. Failure isn't the opposite of success. In fact, it's the foundation of it. Thomas Edison famously failed 10,000 times before creating the light bulb. But then he said, I didn't fail, I just found 10,000 ways it didn't work. So let your failures teach you, refine you, and guide you towards your next breakthrough. Thank you to the relationships that didn't last, to the ones who walked away, to the people who didn't believe in me. I owe you a special kind of gratitude, because your departure made room for people who genuinely care, who genuinely support me. It made me stronger, more self-reliant, and more aware of my worth. Sometimes we cling to the people who are not meant to walk the whole journey with us. So let them go, and trust that their absence is a gift in disguise. Thank you to the struggles that felt insurmountable. Those were the moments I discovered my true strength. When life tests you, it's not to break you, but to build you. The pain you've endured becomes the strength you lean on, and every mountain you've climbed becomes a testament to your perseverance. Bitterness is a weight that holds you in place, tethering you to the past. But choosing to be better, that's where transformation happens. Better doesn't mean forgetting what hurt you or pretending it didn't matter. It means using those experiences as stepping stones to a brighter future. So here's my challenge to you. The next time life feels unfair, when someone lets you down or circumstances don't go your way, just pause and ask yourself, will this make me bitter or will this make me better? Choose better. Always choose better. Because the truth is, you can't control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond. The people who doubted you, they don't define you. The opportunities you lost, they don't limit you. What defines you is how you rise, how you grow, and how you use every experience, good and bad, to build the life you deserve. Remember, life is a journey, not a straight line. So every twist, turn, and detour, it's shaping you into someone stronger, wiser, and more capable than you ever imagined. When life gets hard, don't let it make you bitter. Let it make you better. I guarantee you've made excuses at some point in your life. They whisper comfort in your ears, shielding you from risk, failure, and the unknown. But where have they gotten you? Have they moved you closer to the life you want? Or have they held you back, shackling your potential and leaving your dreams to gather dust? Excuses aren't just words. They're self-imposed barriers. They sound like, I don't have the time, or I'm not ready, or even worse, I'll start tomorrow. But excuses are lies we tell ourselves to stay comfortable. And comfort, my friends, is the silent killer of growth. Imagine for a moment that you stripped away every excuse. What would your world look like if you took ownership of every decision, every failure, and every triumph. How unstoppable could you be? Your power lies in responsibility. It's where transformation begins. Stop waiting for a savior, a sign, or the perfect moment. Understand that no one is coming to save you. Your dreams are yours to achieve, and your life is yours to build. You hold the pen, and every day you write your story. So will it be a tale of excuses and regrets, or one of resilience and triumph? When you blame your circumstances, your past, or others for where you are, you're giving away your power. But when you take responsibility, you reclaim it. You tell the world, I'm in charge here, and I will create the life I want. That's when the magic begins. Excuses thrive in a mind focused on problems. So flip the switch. Instead of saying, I can't because, start asking, how can I? Every time you look for a solution, you expand your possibilities. Every time you focus on what you can do rather than what you can't, you take a step forward. Progress begins with perspective. Some people say they're waiting for the right time, but let me tell you something, there is no perfect time. Life will never present a moment wrapped in a bow with a tag that says, now is your time. You create that moment. You take messy, imperfect action and figure it out along the way. Because the truth is, the best time to start was yesterday. The next best time is right now. Success isn't handed out like a party favor. It's earned through effort, persistence, and a refusal to quit. You're going to face obstacles. You're going to stumble, but every stumble is a lesson. Every obstacle an opportunity to grow stronger. What matters isn't how many times you fall, but how many times you get back up. Commit to the process. Commit to doing the hard things. Commit to yourself. Take a hard look at the people around you. Are they lifting you up or holding you down? Surround yourself with people who challenge you, inspire you, and refuse to let you settle for less than your best. The energy you absorb shapes the life you create. Choose wisely. I know excuses are comforting, but they're also the chains holding you back from the life you deserve. You don't need more time, more resources, or more permission. You need more action. You need to step into your power and decide that you're done playing small. What are you going to do today to take back control of your life? How will you show up for yourself? Not tomorrow, not someday, but today. Because everything you've ever wanted is on the other side of your excuses. No more excuses. No more waiting. It's time to act. Your life is waiting for you to claim it. Go make it happen. Some people seem naturally strong, but for most of us, mental toughness takes work. And guess what? That's okay. Because even if you weren't born with mental toughness, you can develop it, because it's just like a muscle. Mental toughness isn't about pretending that life is easy. It's about showing up and doing your best, even when life feels impossible. It's about handling setbacks, doubts, and fears, but not letting them stop you. So let's talk about the steps to building mental toughness. First, start with self-compassion. Hey, listen, mental toughness doesn't mean being emotionless or always strong. It means knowing that it's okay to feel overwhelmed sometimes and still choosing to keep moving. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to show up. When things get hard, don't beat yourself up. Talk to yourself the way you talk to a friend, like, it's tough right now, but you've got this. True toughness starts with kindness toward yourself. You can't grow stronger by being at war with yourself. Secondly, break big problems into small steps. I know life can be overwhelming, especially when you face challenges like loss, failure, or emotional struggles. But mental toughness doesn't require you to climb the entire mountain at once. You just need to take the first step. If you're overwhelmed, ask yourself, what's one thing I can do right now? Small wins build confidence, and over time they add up. Mental toughness isn't about doing everything perfectly. It's about taking small, consistent actions, no matter how you feel. Third step, control what you can and let go of what you can't. One of the biggest energy drains is worrying about things beyond your control. Other people's opinions, unexpected setbacks, or circumstances you can't change. Tough-minded people focus on what they can control, like your attitude, your effort, your actions. Ask yourself, what can I control in this situation? When you focus on the things you can change, you take your power back. The fourth step is learn to get comfortable with discomfort. Here's the hard truth, that growth comes from discomfort. Mental toughness is built by sitting with uncomfortable emotions, fear, frustration, or self-doubt, without giving in or running away. When things get tough, pause and breathe. Remind yourself, I can do hard things. Each time you face discomfort, instead of avoiding it, you strengthen your mind. You learn that you are stronger than you think. Over time, you'll stop fearing discomfort because you'll know it's not here to break you. It's here to build you. The fifth step is adopt a long-term mindset. Toughness isn't about short bursts of effort. It's about endurance. It's about seeing setbacks as part of the process, not the end of the road. Life will throw curveballs your way, but the people who keep moving forward, even slowly, are the ones who succeed. Know that tough times won't last forever. Focus on progress, not perfection. If today is hard, tomorrow might be easier. Just keep showing up. Number 6 is celebrate progress, no matter how small. Mentally tough people don't wait until they've reached the finish line to celebrate. They recognize every step forward. Like, did you get out of bed today when you didn't feel like it? That's progress. Did you handle a difficult conversation without losing your cool? That's growth. Recognize and appreciate every effort you make. Your brain needs those reminders that you're moving in the right direction. You are stronger than you know. Mental toughness isn't about never falling, it's about getting back up every time you do. You're going to face challenges, that's life. But the more you practice showing up, the stronger you'll become. So when life knocks you down, and it will, get back up. Every step forward, no matter how small, is proof that you are tougher than you think. You have what it takes to build the life you want. One step, one challenge, one day at a time. So go out there and show yourself what you're capable of. Remember when you thought you weren't good enough? When doubt whispered in your ear, telling you that your goals were out of reach? Maybe it was when you missed out on an opportunity you really wanted, or when you felt like everyone else was moving ahead while you were standing still. But then something clicked. You realized that your worth wasn't defined by a single moment or a single setback. You picked yourself up, learned from the experience, and you tried again. And then what happened? You succeeded in other ways you never imagined. Remember when life felt overwhelming? When the to-do list was endless and you just wanted to give up? You had responsibilities piling up, maybe work pressures, family demands, and it felt like there just weren't enough hours in the day. But you took a deep breath, focused on one thing at a time, and suddenly things started to fall in place. You found your rhythm, started managing your time better. Before you knew it, what once seemed impossible became achievable. Remember when you felt stuck, like you were spinning your wheels but going nowhere? Maybe you were in a place that didn't inspire you, or in a situation that made you feel trapped. But then you made a decision. You decided that staying stuck wasn't an option. You started exploring new opportunities, took a risk, or made a change. It wasn't easy, but with each step, you moved closer to where you wanted to be. And now, when you look back, you see how far you've come. Remember when you struggled with your health? Whether it was trying to start a new exercise program or eating better, it felt like a mountain to climb. At first, it seemed impossible to stay consistent, and the results weren't immediate. But you stuck with it, little by little. You started feeling better, stronger, more energized. And now the healthy habits that once felt difficult are now a part of your everyday life. We all have those remember when moments. Times when the obstacles seem too big, the path too unclear. But here's the thing, those moments didn't define you. What defined you was how you chose to rise above them. The next time life throws you a challenge, remember this. You've overcome before, and you'll overcome again. A setback is just a setup for your next success. Every challenge is an opportunity to grow stronger, smarter, and more resilient. Your story is still being written, and the best chapters are ahead of you. Keep pushing, keep believing. You're always stronger than you think. The foundation of our thoughts, which affect our emotions, is our beliefs and values. They're the pieces that make up our identity, like who we are or how we see ourselves. They're literally the DNA of our mindset. I mean, think about it. You're driven by your ideologies, from what you think you can achieve to how you act. You weren't born with these. They were ingrained into you from a young age. If you're Christian, you were likely born into a Christian family with Christian traditions and values. Same for Muslim or Hindu or any other religion. But if you're atheist, you likely had an atheist parent or two who shared alternative thoughts on religion. See, you're a product of your upbringing and your experiences. You've taken in all this information and you've created your reality. Many people are fixed on their beliefs and values, never daring to question the things they deem true, and that's fine. But then there's another group who get exposed to alternative thinking and begin to explore differing views. Then suddenly they wonder if what they believed is actually true, or is there another way of looking at things? Neither group is right or wrong, but it is important to understand that beliefs are just that, simple beliefs. And because they're just beliefs, as strongly as you stand on them today, you can just as easily change your beliefs tomorrow. Some values you may never wish to change, such as being kind or generous or treating all humanity with grace and peace. Other ideas you may wish to challenge, such as the world is evil or prosperity isn't available to everyone. Your negative beliefs might be about yourself, something like you're not good enough or you don't deserve love or affection. I mean, these ideas should certainly be questioned. So as much as your identity is your beliefs, I want you to know that if you want to, you can easily change them. You can make a radical change in your being by simply changing how you think. If what you're holding on to is holding you back from becoming the person you want to be, then start by changing your filter, that is, how you interpret the world. Start by questioning one belief that you exhibit now and ask, is it true? Let's take the idea that the world is toxic and working against you. If you want to change, then you need to create doubt about this idea. Is the world really out to get you, or are you just not focusing on opportunities? Where focus goes, energy flows. If you're focused on problems, you'll always find problems. But when you're looking for solutions, you'll start to see them everywhere. It's like when you bought your first car, you were excited to get in the driver's seat and take it for a spin, but then suddenly you start seeing your same car everywhere. It's not that they suddenly appeared out of nowhere, they were always there, but you weren't focused on them. If you suddenly find that one of your beliefs isn't true, then what about the other beliefs? Might they not be true as well? And when doubt enters the mind, the brain looks for alternatives to fill the void. You may have been fed beliefs when you were younger, but you don't need to hold on to those ideas any longer, especially if they don't serve the person you want to become now. Change your thinking and you'll change your life. Every day when we wake up and rise to tackle life's challenges, hopefully with intent and purpose, inching step by step towards what we seek, we begin to move, and then there they are. The obstacles to overcome, the mountains to climb, and the forces to battle. All of these represent the price which has to be paid for the level of success we're chasing. You see, the bigger the goal, the higher the price, which is why so many settle for lower goals. It's not that they didn't have the talent or skills to reach higher. No, it's the fact that they weren't willing to pay the price. In the beginning, when payment is due, we're ready and anxious to lay out the fees. We'll attack each challenge with enthusiasm as we see it as the first steps on the climb. But over time, after all the work and sacrifices, there it is again, another payment due. The problem becomes that we haven't hit the summit yet, and there's still miles to go. Suddenly we see the costs adding up without any rewards. We've put out all this effort, and although we've made progress, we haven't reached the finish line. Then when we ponder the distance still left to go, we start to doubt our abilities to make future payments. Our energy drops, and we question whether we'll ever hit the summit. And I know it'd be easier to walk away, to leave the jagged path, perhaps content with the investment we've already made and level we've achieved, but there's another option. It's the idea that perhaps there'll be a day when the price is too steep, but not today. There might be a time in the future when I'll end the pursuit, but not today. When in the midst of doubt and that voice is telling you to quit, I want you to utter the two simple words, not today. You just need to push through this day. I promise you that the view will change, that voice will dissipate, and your account will fill again. But you just need to push through this day. And tomorrow, if that same feeling is there, repeat the two words, not today. Because you can and you must push through the tough days to get to the rich ones. This is the lesson that most people fail to understand. If you want the view, then you have to be prepared to make the climb. To pay the price. Like any ascent, it begins with a simple step, simply repeated over and over. There are no shortcuts. When the surface is smooth, we get coddled into thinking that it'll always be this way. The costs are low and we can run forever. But hey, look around. There's a crowd with you. Being that the price is low, everyone is willing to stay in the race. It's only when the path gets rocky and the price goes up that people start to drop off. You just need to decide if that'll be you. And when that moment of doubt arrives, and it will, I want you to repeat after me. Not today. Step by step, day by day. That's the only way.